Okay, so here's the next part of this tutorial, which is about changing some of Unity Cookie's um, coding and fixing a few problems. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove all the emitter stuff from the properties section first. And we're also going to remove the color property as well. We're going to leave the main text, the bump map, and the bump depth, but we're going to change this from 0 to 1. We're going to go from 1 to 2. And we're going to make the standard 1.5. The specular color and the shininess will leave. And we're also going to leave the rim color and rim power up here, even though I'm not going to use that. So next it's time to go to the user defined variables. We're going to leave the main text st, bump map xt, remove the emit map and emit map xt. We need to leave the color here. Don't delete that. We are going to remove the emitter strength, and we're going to remove the rim power and the rim color. Make sure you don't delete these semicolons. So even though we're going to have rim color and rim power up here, which means it's still a property which you'll be able to see, it won't be connected to anything. All of this is fine. Okay. Before we get to this section, let's let's get to the fragment function before we go back to the vertex function. So let's delete this. That's the emitter text. This is fine. Oh, so in this section, you may have seen this exact code before if you have, and I'm assuming that you have, messed with other vertex functions in it. You can see this is multiplied by 2. Don't multiply that by 2. Don't multiply that by anything. This was apparently something that may have been necessary for like Unity 2. If you have Unity 3, you may want to still keep that 2, but generally I remove it. This is fine. This is fine. What to actually say. And label this as diffuse. Okay, so we're going to delete the rim. Delete the rim power going here. Delete rim lining. Delete the emitter section. Delete color and the multiplication of it. And then I want to delete the second pass, which is going to be everything from the NCG to this NCG. We'll put the second pass back later. And then we're going to change where we're putting it. So we're going to put this in, I guess I'm going to put it in toot. Toot. Unity cookie. Edit 1. That's what we're going to call it. Actually, no, that's not what we're going to call it. We'll copy that name for now. This is what we're going to save it as. We're going to save it as we're going to save it as UC mod for now. We're going to go to File, Save As, and we're going to paste UC Edit 1. We're going to hit Save. Yeah, I'll just override the file. I have another version of this saved. So, now let's talk about this section. So, binormal world is fine. The problem is the object to world in here. So, here's another version of this shader, one that I kind of already edited. And so it actually took me a long time to figure out what was wrong. But the issue is, let me actually just copy that little section and paste it here. So, the issue here is that we have a world to object being used where a model matrix inverse should be used. And the model matrix inverse comes from up here. Now, even though it says float for X for model matrix inverse and object to world is here, what's going on is that the object to world has to be modified first, and also, well, the world to object has to be modified first, and then the object to world also has to be modified. So there's some, you can't just put world to object in here directly. So you need to type out float for X4 model matrix capital M equals underscore object capital object to world capital W semicolon, and then type in float for X4 model matrix inverse, and that's a capital I for inverse, and then do underscore world to object, and then that is going to be a semicolon. The object to world and the world to object are variables that are inside of Unity, so you don't have to declare them anywhere up here. And the other problem for it is the tangent world. So both of them are normalized, multiply, model mode matrix for this one is object to world, but that's not the only problem. So you have a float 4 here, you didn't have a float 4 here, and you have another 0, 0, and you have an XYZ at the back of this. So I wouldn't leave this as a float. I could probably change it to a half, but I don't want to, because certain things can't actually be halves or fixed. So let's delete this, and you're going to basically type things out as you see them, but you don't have to leave the comments. You don't have to. You don't have to type this. So basically, it's normalize mul for multiply, model matrix, comma float 4, and then we're going to have another bracket, and it's going to be the name of your vertex, which is V here, and tangent dot xyz, comma 0.0 bracket dot xyz, and that should fix those problems. So let's save this and see what happens. Okay. Where did I save my shader to? Oh, it's down here. Okay. So there's some sort of problem with the, oh no. I was hoping that wasn't going to happen. Okay, I see what the problem was. Okay, what is going on? Okay, I am still seeing seams, even though things seem to have fixed itself. Wait, just a second. Let me check something. Maybe I do still need that 2.0 up here. Yeah, I do. Okay, I was wrong. Very, very wrong. So, I remember reading somewhere where you don't need this 2.0 multiplied by the text. Um, I guess that's the normal texture. I knew something wasn't quite right. Um, so now we have basically the same shader, except for the bump depth isn't as extreme because I changed it from 1 to 2 instead of 1 to from 0 to 1. And rim power and stuff doesn't work, but the shininess power still does. So if I go to a low shininess, as you can see, it looks less shiny. Well, it's still shiny, but it's more a rougher shininess. It's not a high polish. And if I was to go up to 20, it would be more of a high polish. And as you can see, the actual highlight area is smaller. So let's set this to 10 right now. And so now we have the modified Unity Cookie optimized shader, and this is going to be the shader that we're going to continue to keep adding things to eventually create a shader that's going to be kind of similar to what the shaders to what the standard shader is in Unity 5. So that's the end of this tutorial.